I've been thinking about how to answer this for a week, but let's do my makeup and I will tell you the testimony of how I broke free from addiction. First and foremost, I do need to say it's literally all Jesus. Jesus is the way. There's no other way. And if you're looking for another way, this is not the video for you. I've been trying to think about a formula or like a way to say this, but the truth is that I was set free from mine in a very real way. It was released from me and I got delivered in like every sense of the word. So at the time, nothing in my life was going my way and I was really frustrated and disappointed, and I was getting into it with the people in my life. And so I did like Matthew 6:6 says, and I literally went into a room, I closed the door behind me, and I began to pray to my Father. When I was praying, I turned on some worship music and I started praying, and I literally felt the presence of God so heavy in the room, and I just began to cry, and like, I don't even really remember what happened. I just remember it was such a pivotal moment in my faith and in my walk, because I had already been saved. I was already Christian, and then I had walked away from God a bit. Not like not believing, I had just been straying from like living a true Christian life, like living the way that Jesus lived. It was so interesting because I had never prayed like that before, but it was almost like that day I decided that I was going to get free somehow. So I went and I prayed, and after that, it was really more so just figuring out what my triggers were, because God kind of released me from the desire, but there was still like some lingering temptation. So for me, I had to figure out what was triggering me, why I was running to drugs instead of running to God, and how I could run to God first. I just want to preface, we all have different temptations and addictions and convictions. So this video is not meant to be like, oh, like drugs are bad for you. Drugs are bad for you. Like, yes, I'm like, don't do drugs. I'm an advocate of like not doing drugs. But for me, that was something that was hindering my walk with God. So therefore for me, it was a conviction that I had. It was a temptation that I had. So whatever it is in your life, hopefully this helps you. This is just my testimony. If it doesn't, that's cool too. Also to be honest, detoxing was the hardest part. And during the time when I was detoxing, I had to figure out a lot of things. I had to look inwards and see what was actually triggering me and why I was choosing drugs. And so during that time, I began to, one, spend my money different places, because obviously you have to buy drugs. So I started to look at where my heart was, and it's like it says in Matthew 21, it says, for where your treasure is, your heart will be there also. So I started to spend my money more in areas that were going to be beneficial for me, or like more on the things of God. So I started tithing more. I just made sure that I was locking up my money and putting my money in places where I couldn't get it back. So that meant like giving more to the community. It meant doing more for others, and doing less for myself, which sounds really strange when you think about it, but like I just made sure that I like did not have money on me ever. I also figured out during that time that the drugs were kind of a coping mechanism for me to run away from relationships in my life that I was uncomfortable in, or relationships in my life that I like wasn't happy in. And it was like a way for me to continuously not fix or mend those broken relationships. So I had to take time to really ask God, like, what relationships do I keep in my life? And then also during my detox, I took time to really think about all of the relationships that I had, the ones that were influencing me in a bad way. And those are the ones that I asked God to prune away. And so there was a period of time where there were people in my life who I loved a lot, but I knew that they were leading me down the wrong path. And because I got free, I needed to continue to be free until I had enough strength and self-control in my walk to be around those people again, because I really did truly love them. They're good people. There's nothing wrong with them. We just have different convictions. So that was kind of the hardest part about my detox. But when I tell you, it's so worth it, and I'm so grateful to God to be free from drugs, and like I'm so grateful that this is my testimony. It is 100% worth it. If you're struggling with drugs, if you're struggling with whatever it is, weed, like I don't care what anyone says, like people used to say, like, weed is a gateway drug. Yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know. It was for me. It may not be for you. It really just depends on how you experience life and your own nervous system. But for me, it was not something that I should have been dealing with. So it was just messy for me. But it may not be for you. I don't know. Favorite Bible verses is 2 Timothy 2:22. And it says, run from temptations that capture young people. Always do the right thing. Be faithful and loving and easy to get along with. And it continues on for a little bit, but during that time, that's also something that I had to work on, is fleeing from temptations in spaces where I knew drugs were going to be present. Because, you know, that was like the one way to get me to a function back in the day. And like, I'm so glad I can laugh about it now, but I had to actively, on Friday nights, I was like, no, we're going home. You're gonna go read your Bible, or you're gonna be around your family. I used the time that I was like seeking out drugs, or the time that I would usually be using to seek out drugs, to seek God instead. And that was also something really powerful that transformed my walk, because at the time I had a relationship with God, but I wasn't truly seeking the kingdom first. And that became something that was really big for me. I also was in a relationship at the time that was influencing me down the wrong path and causing me to do a lot of dangerous things in my life. And, ooh, ouch. I ended up not being with that person anymore, and that was also a big thing. So I changed not only my habits, but I changed the people around me who had those habits, and I started to surround myself with people I wanted to be like, people who are modeling Christ-like behavior, and people who are actually going to support my journey in being sober. But yeah, that's like long story, but that is how I got free, with the Lord's help, of course, from drugs. So sorry, I don't do that much in my makeup routine, so if this video is boring, apologies. But yeah, let me know if you need anything else, or like need prayer or anything. Just hit me up, girl. I got you.